We are following breaking news out of Fort Smith tonight. Police say they're looking for suspects after a shooting that happened tonight near the Foxfire Club on North 10th Street. Officers arrived on the scene to find two victims. Both were taken to local hospitals. No other information, though, about their condition is being provided. Police say no arrests have been made at this time and are now asking anyone with information on the shooting to call Fort Smith Police or 911. Tonight at the Arkansas State Capitol, lawmakers held off the vote on a plan to fund a new prison near Charleston. The appropriations bill has failed 5 times since last week and fell 6 votes short of the 27 needed to clear the Senate just yesterday. Legislative session, by the way, set to wrap up 1 week from today. Between that funding bill that keeps failing, a Native American tribe saying the site is a burial ground, and now another bill filed in the Senate related to the state's prison system. There's a lot to talk about regarding these prison plans. And tonight, 5 News reporter Lauren Spencer is hearing from the Franklin County judge who says nobody from Little Rock has reached out to him.
I said, that's a terrible site to try to build a prison on.
County Judge Ricky Bowman remembers what he said when the governor announced a state prison was coming to Franklin County.
It's going to be too expensive for the taxpayer, more expensive than it would have to be if they would choose a site that would meet their own criteria.
He says no one from Little Rock has reached out to him since the beginning, despite claims to the contrary.
I got a message that in Little Rock that the senators were being told that they were staying in close contact with the leadership of Franklin County. And no, that is not, I hate to say this, that's just not true.
This comes as the $750 million spending plan has failed to get enough supporters in 5 votes.
Very appreciative of those senators that are holding their ground and agreeing with what I feel like and what I'm saying, that this is not right for the taxpayers.
Senator Joshua Bryant from Benton County has introduced a separate bill that proposes a major investment in the state's prison system, potentially directing $420 million towards the construction of a new state prison somewhere in the state. His bill would take money from the state's Securities Reserve Fund to use on correctional facilities in 2025 and 2026.
I just hope some of these senators wake up and protect their constituents, protect our state. I'm not saying that maybe we don't need a prison, but why waste so much of the taxpayers' dollars to build it? There's a better side out there, and we don't have to be in that big of a hurry.
In Franklin County, covering news where you live, Lauren Spencer, 5 News.
Because the $740 million spending plan is an appropriations bill, it needs 27 state senators to vote yes before it can move on to the House. Only 21 senators voted in favor of the plan on Tuesday. Senators did not vote on that bill, by the way, today. Meanwhile, the Arkansas Senate did pass a bill that would prohibit companies known as pharmacy benefit managers from owning pharmacies in the state. It's now cleared both chambers and will head to the governor's desk. Supporters of the plan call it a national leading measure that would eliminate a conflict of interest where PBMs set drug prices and then profit from pharmacy ownership. Now, one of the nation's largest pharmacy chains issued a statement tonight speaking against the measure, asking the governor to veto it. CVS Health says the bill would make it harder for people to achieve better health, and a veto would help ensure Arkansans get the medicine they need. We'll, of course, bring you updates as soon as the governor announces if she plans to sign this bill. All 3 stock indexes back up again today, making up for some of the losses over the past week. Rebound happened after the White House announced it was holding off tariffs for 90 days against every country but China. Erica Brown has the latest now from the White House, where officials gave an update tonight on trade negotiations they expect to continue through this 90-day pause.
Wall Street came roaring back Wednesday, the Dow up more than 2,900 points in its biggest one-day gain since 2008, after President Trump announced a 90-day pause on his reciprocal tariffs for all nations except China. The president said more than 70 countries want to engage in negotiations for trade deals with the U.S.
Somebody had to do what we did, and I did a 90-day pause for the people that didn't retaliate, because I told them if you retaliate, we're going to double it. And that's what I did with China, because they did retaliate.
The president further hiked tariffs on Chinese imports, pushing them to 125% after Beijing raised its retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods to 84%. Still, the president insists he believes China wants to reach an agreement with the U.S. While Wall Street responded favorably to the president's latest tariff announcements, some lawmakers remain skeptical about the strategy.
Donald Trump is feeling the heat from Democrats and across America about how bad these tariffs are. He is reeling, he is retreating, and that is a good thing.
The president also signed executive orders Wednesday aimed at restoring business competition and repealing federal regulations that limit household water pressure.
In my case, I like to take a nice shower to take care of my beautiful hair. And I have to stand under the shower for 15 minutes till it gets wet. It comes out drip, drip, drip. It's ridiculous.
The order says it intends to, quote, make America's showers great again. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
Meanwhile, former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, now our country's ambassador to Israel. He was confirmed by the Senate today, then sworn in this afternoon in the Arkansas Capitol alongside his daughter, who followed his footsteps as Arkansas governor. Huckabee says he could not think of a better place for the swearing-in ceremony, that place where some of his biggest accomplishments took place.
Rather than have my swearing in Washington, a city that means really not very much to me, the place I get out of as quickly as I can and go as seldom as I can, I wanted to do it here in Arkansas, here in Little Rock, and specifically here in this state capitol, because I knew that the governor would give me a rent-free opportunity.
Former governor will now represent the White House and State Department on matters relating to Israel as negotiators work to secure a ceasefire and end the country's war with Hamas. Well, this year's tax day, less than a week away. The deadline to file this year is next Tuesday, by the way. And so far this year, the average refund has been up slightly from last year at about $3,300. And if you still need to file this year, you'll want to make sure you avoid scammers. Stephanie Haney with the Verify team breaks down one scam that tax filers need to be on the lookout for.
In part 2 of our look at the Dirty Dozen IRS scam report, we're focusing on how scammers take advantage of taxpayers who are trying to settle their debts with the agency. During tax season, scammers have been known to target people who want to use the Offer in Compromise, or OIC program, which allows people to settle tax debt for less than the full amount they owe. To bring you up to speed on how this scam works, we're sharing Verify Fast Facts from the IRS and the National Cybersecurity Alliance, a nonprofit organization which promotes cybersecurity awareness and education. First, not everyone is eligible for the Offer in Compromise program. The IRS warns bad actors will aggressively promote this program in misleading ways to people who clearly don't meet the qualifications, costing taxpayers thousands of dollars. You don't have to guess if you qualify. There's a quiz you can take on the IRS website to see if the program is an option for you. Second, you don't need to hire someone to use the OIC program. The IRS says some companies offer legitimate services to help taxpayers file a request, but scammers running so-called OIC mills will charge excessive fees for a service taxpayers could have gotten themselves directly from the IRS. And third, if you do decide to hire a company to help you with an Offer in Compromise, aggressive marketing is a red flag that you're being scammed. Cliff Steinauer, Director of Information Security and Engagement at the National Cybersecurity Alliance, says people need to research companies that contact them.
Let's say you get something from a tax preparing company that you've used in the past, but it seems unusual. You can go to that company's website on your own without clicking on a link in an email or in a text message. You don't want to use links and information that come to you in a sketchy message. You want to go find the information on your own.
Even if you don't qualify for the OIC program, most taxpayers do qualify for an IRS payment plan to pay off debt over time. You can learn more about this option at irs.gov. With your Verify Fast Facts, I'm Stephanie Haney.
And if you're one of the millions that still need to file, the IRS says the quickest and most efficient way, of course, is electronically. If you're not going to be ready by April 15, you can also request an extension to file with Form 4868. That extension gives you until October 15th to file your return, but it's not an extension to pay. If you owe, you still got to pay it. You need to estimate and pay any owed taxes by the April 15th deadline to avoid any potential penalties and interest. If you owe money but can't afford to pay, the IRS offers several payment plans. Tonight, we're learning more about Marty Mahan after he was named the new superintendent of Fort Smith Schools. Mahan has worked in the district for 31 years, starting his career as a substitute teacher. Later became the principal at Kimmons Junior High and Northside High School before eventually becoming the deputy superintendent. Mahan says high educational standards, campus safety, and student mental health remain top priorities. Says he wants to build on the success of his predecessors.
Consistent that we are expecting the best grade level instruction and expecting the best from our students, and then also preparing our staff. The other thing is just to continue to be innovative and look at new ways, new approaches to engage learning. As we see things change in our world, we need to be adaptive to those new approaches.
After contract negotiations, Mahan will resume the role on July 1st.